City boy, city boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Nate the Great, back with another video. And you know we gotta go ahead and do a Friday night Smackdown review. Alright, now, starting off, I must say that this show, genuinely, alright, and I know I've said this a couple times already, but, I mean, it's been just bad, right? Like, we've had horrible Smackdowns and horrible Raws non-stop for a very long time now. So it seems like every week we damn near get the worst Smackdown of all time. We damn near get the worst Raw of all time. There may be 1 or 2 weeks every other month where the show, you know, is not good, but at least you can see that they tried something. This is one of those shows where you can see that they tried something, but it absolutely failed, all right? Fell flat on its face, and I'm going to explain exactly why. All right, we're going to break down this show. We're going to do it from top to bottom, all right? And I want you guys to let me know down in the comment section below how you guys felt about tonight's show. Did you think it was good? Did you think it was bad? All right? And then I want you guys to go ahead, hit the like button, and subscribe if you fuck with your boy, all right? Because your boy fucks with you. I do this for the people. This is for the people, all right? I would not watch these shows if not for you guys. If not, I did not like having your guys' conversations down below in the comments and good stuff like that, all right? So let's go ahead and jump into the show. Tonight's show, one thing I will give it is that the flow was significantly different. I'll give it that. The flow, I actually enjoyed the flow a lot better, at least just because it wasn't the same old, like, it wasn't the same formula that it normally is, where we start off with the superstar walkouts, and then somebody comes out, cut a promo, and then after that promo, we might get a brawl, we might not, but, you know, who knows, and then we move on to a match. You know, a segment here, segment there, segment here, segment there, then another match, segment here, recap, vignette here, match, recap, match, and then main event segment that may or may not be a long-ass match, right? That's basically what the formula is, right? It wasn't that necessarily this time, okay? Because we started off with something new, all right? We started off at a scene, right, with a car crash, like right, Solo and the MFT, like they are standing outside. Everything is frantic. The police are there. There's a car crash right behind them. Like 2 SUVs crashed into each other. 2 nice SUVs too, crashed into each other. And you're like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on? Jackie Redmond is there. She's trying to get, or I think it might have been Kathy Kelly. She's there. She's trying to get a word with Adam Pearce, because Adam Pearce is out there. Adam Pearce is like, look, there's a lot going on, such and such and such. You know, we don't have all the information yet, but we'll get back to you, all right? Because this just happened, you know. And Cody Rhodes walks up. Now, like I said, this is a frantic scene. The police are there. Solo Sikoa and the MFT, they're there. They're all frantic. Somebody's bleeding, I think. Like, there was a lot of shit going on. And Cody Rhodes walks up with this binder in hand, this little folder in hand. And he walks up to Adam Pearce and he says, hey, you know, I can't wait to sign this contract here. We'll go ahead and we'll talk about it later. Adam Pearce is like, all right, buddy. Like, yo, there's a fucking car crash. Somebody just, like, people may be hurt here. Like, Cody Rhodes has he doesn't give a shit about any of this shit. That's like, Cody Rhodes is just completely skipping over this. He's only concerned about this contract. Like, Cody Rhodes is supposed to be this big time baby face, and there's people hurt, right? He's supposed to be this big time hero, this big time baby face. There's people potentially hurt in a car crash, an accident, and he has zero concern for the lives of the people that are involved in the car crash. Maybe because they're heels, I don't know, but that shouldn't necessarily matter if it's just your character, if you're just a baby face, right? Like this. So this is how the show started off. So I was already kind of hot, but I was like, all right, but at least they tried something new. All right. And then we went into a segment between Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Now, in this segment, we got to hear the same shit that we normally hear from these motherfuckers. But we got to hear a new tidbit, because this is what happened. Charlotte Flair basically said that, all right, look, yeah, we might have not won the tag team titles, but we didn't lose the match either. And I was able to go into Adam Pearce's office, have a conversation with him, and now we have tag team titles, a tag team title match at SummerSlam. What the fuck? That was fast. What the fuck? So this is what I'm saying. These matches, it's just a match to get to a match. And don't worry, if you don't win this match, you'll have another match where you can just get it, like, you can just go to Adam Pearce and just ask for a title match, and you don't have to earn this title match. He just says yes at the second biggest show of the year. You can just have a title match. You can just, who gives a shit if it's Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair? It doesn't matter. Like, who gives a fuck? What and why didn't we see this? At least let us see the conversation and how it went and what the stipulations were that Adam Pearce gave you, or Nick Aldis, or whoever you talked to. Right? Because Nick Aldis was off tonight. I forgot to mention that. Nick Aldis was off, so Adam Pearce was filling in. So, I'm sitting here trying to figure this all out. Like, why, how the fuck can she just get a title match? And then she says that she has a match tonight, and she wants Alexa Bliss to be out there. And then they do the cheerleader bit that they did last week, except this time it was Alexa Bliss saying, well, do I look like a cheerleader? And Charlotte's like, yeah, you do. And then Alexa's like, yeah, I kind of do, huh? And then that was that. I'm ready to turn this shit off already, to be honest with you. At this point, I was already ready to turn off this show. And then we go into the match. This is Charlotte Flair versus Raquel Rodriguez in this motherfucker, right? This match. This was a 10-minute match for nothing. All right. Now, I understand. We have only 2 weeks or so left until we get to SummerSlam. So you have to pack a lot of stuff into the show and you have to do a lot to get the hype up, right? But this is not how you do it, right? If we're going to be seeing a match already between Charlotte Flair and between Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and Raquel and Roxanne, right? If we're already going to be seeing this match, why would we want to see a singles match between two of the tag members already? Okay, so that means that's going to make this a rematch already. It's technically already a rematch because they were just in a match together at Evolution. Am I wrong? So they come out of that match, they didn't win, they lost. Whether they fucking got pinned or not, they lost. And now they just get another shot because Charlotte said so. And just because now she has a match with somebody from Raw, Raquel Rodriguez is on Raw, and for some reason she's coming over to SmackDown to get jobbed out by Charlotte Flair. And Raquel's supposed to be this fucking enforcer, but she's looking weak as fuck, getting beat up by Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. This shit is getting comical, man. Like, how are we supposed to take Raquel seriously if she's getting beat up? And how are we supposed to take this match? Why would we care about this match? There's no story here. What, Charlotte Flair went to Adam Pearce. We didn't even get to see it. She just told Alexa Bliss that she went to Adam Pearce, and now there's a match. You should care about it because it's a championship match. No, that's not how this shit works. This is not UFC. This is not some actual real competitive fighting. This is a TV show. This is supposed to be entertaining, and this is not entertaining, not even in the slightest. All right. So, like I said, Raquel got jobbed out in this match. There was some interference from Alexa Bliss and Roxanne all a little bit throughout the match. All right. Fucking at the end of the match, Alexa Bliss hits Roxanne with something. She like pulls her down on the ropes, and Raquel turns around into a super kick, and then Charlotte Flair fucking rolls her up. After 10, 11 minutes, this is how the match ends. Great. All right. We move on to the next scene where Jacob Fatu is actually about to get arrested here, right? So the police pull up, right? And they talk to Adam Pearce. They're like, hey, we're looking for Jacob Fatu. Can you point him out to us? He's a person of interest in the hit and run that happened earlier. Adam Pearce is like, oh, well, if he's a person of interest, follow me. Adam Pearce walks right around the corner, and Jacob Fatu is pretty much right there, right? He yells, Jacob! They run over to Jacob, right? And he's like, hey, the police, they want to talk to you. Jacob's like, punk-ass police, I ain't going nowhere with them. I ain't do nothing, right? Adam Pearce is like, look, man, think about your family. Think about your family, man. Just go there, answer the questions, and we'll figure everything out later, okay? Fatu's like, all right, whatever, man. Pulls off, goes with the police officers, who, I have to say, the police officer who was like doing all the talking, some of the worst overacting I've seen in a long time. All right. But this happened, and I'm like, all right, let's see where this goes. All right. It already doesn't make sense. Well, I won't say it already doesn't make sense, but because at this point, all we've seen was the car accident. Then we see Fatu get arrested. We see Jacob get arrested. So we're like, okay, something's going on here. Right. So at this point, I'm a little intrigued. Although Cody had zero interest in this earlier, which was crazy. Right. I'm intrigued a little bit. So let's see where this goes, right? So we move on. Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill, they get like a little video promo where they're just talking about, Tiffany saying the same shit she always says in her promos, how, she's gone through all these people and now she's still standing here as the WWE champion because it's Tiffy time. Jacob's like, or Jade is like, oh, there's a storm coming. All the shit that she normally says. And then, whatever. They have that match. We move on. Jade Cargill is fine as hell. I want to beat them Doonies right into the couch cushions. We move on to a little recap for between the situation that happened with R-Truth and Aleister Black last week, and then Damian Priest getting involved and getting his ass whipped. All right. Damian Priest is now walking backstage, and he walks past, what's his name? Carmelo Hayes. And Damian Priest asks Carmelo Hayes where Aleister Black is. Carmelo Hayes says, I have no idea. And even if I did, I wouldn't fucking tell you. All right? Damian Priest is like, look, man, don't get your ass whooped, basically. And Carmelo Hayes is like, you're not whooping my ass, bro. So then they set up a match. And then that's what we move into next, is the match between Carmelo Hayes and Damian Priest. Now this match, once again, another 10-11 minute match. And it meant absolutely nothing because it ended in DQ. Aleister Black went ahead and attacked Damian Priest while he was getting ready to set up some move. And that was that, right? Hit him with the spinning back kick after the match, or the Black Mass as they call it, I guess. And then that was that. Carmelo Hayes looks Aleister Black dead in his eyes and just rolls out of the ring, doesn't want any smoke at all, because he just got his ass whooped by Damian Priest. And he was probably going to lose that match had that not happened. So I don't care about this. I don't care if they have a match at SummerSlam. That's probably going to happen, a little triple threat. I don't know. Or maybe a fatal 4-way, add an R-Truth in there. But R-Truth wasn't even on the show tonight, so who knows what the fuck. R-Truth was just the biggest name in wrestling last month, and Triple H has already quashed that fire because he just does not, he had to hire him back, and then he just does nothing with him. It's just absolutely wild, right? So we move on to a Wyatt 6 vignette, video package, promo, whatever. This was some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Why are the Wyatt 6 targeting the tag team division? It makes no sense. Now, if they were going for all the gold in WWE, I guess it would make some kind of sense. Maybe because this is what I would do. I would do something like, these motherfuckers are crazy. They think if they get all the titles that they'll have enough gold, to summon a demon or some shit like that. I would do some shit like that, right? These motherfuckers are trying to summon a spirit, right? The demon spirit of Sister Abigail or some shit like that, right? That's what I would do. If they get all the gold, they can combine all the gold together and have a ritual where they can summon Sister Abigail. But no, what you're gonna get is some bullshit vignette talking about some damn, their lust for gold, the Street Profits' lust for gold is the reason why they lost the title, and we're gonna expose the tag team division. Why? Why aren't we seeing these guys backstage having big plans, right? Creeping people the fuck out, attacking people backstage and just imposing their will and just jumping out of nowhere and showing that they have some paranormal shit going on about them and have people have dialogue about the Wyatt Six, not just the tag team division, but other people. Like, have you seen those crazy motherfuckers running around here? That little crazy bitch with the makeup on and all that shit. Like, she scared the fuck out of me. I swear, she jump out at me, I'ma kick that little bitch in the face. Shit like that. Just have people, just have little tidbits, little things that they say, right? But no, we're gonna get just a bullshit vignette. And hey, go ahead, be excited, consume products, and don't ask questions, right? Like, don't ask any fucking questions, because I promise it won't make any sense. All right, we move the fuck on to a promo with Solo and the MFT standing behind him. All right, now Solo in this promo, I really like Solo. I love how far Solo has come just in the short time that he's been on the WWE main roster. He was a very boring, uninspiring individual when he first debuted in WWE. But now I feel like he's really coming into his own. He's really starting to find that character. He's really starting to find what works for him. All right. And that's him, the facial expressions, the way that he's starting to deliver his promos. He's getting way better with his crowd work. Solo is somebody that gets it, and I wish Solo wasn't like bogged down with the MFT and all this bullshit, right? Because Solo has so much potential at this point, where Solo, I think, he can really have a good run with the United States Championship, but I can already tell the way that this thing is going, it's not going to happen, all right? But Solo's out there, and he's basically talking about Jacob Fatu and how, see what happens, if Jacob Fatu would have just listened to me, none of this ever would have happened. Jacob Fatu is selfish. He only cares about himself, all right? That's why he needs to be under me. I put money in his pocket, put food on his family's table. I brought him in, and this is how he treats me, right? He's saying all this. And then at the same time, we see in the backstage area, Jimmy Uso is standing there, and he's there next to a cop car, and he's like, yeah, man, let my boy out. Let my boy out. And they let Jacob Fatu out the back seat. And, the police officer tells him here, instead of, because they probably already would have told him this at the station before they brought him here. That's just logic, though. But he tells him here, after they already brought him back, that they reviewed the footage, right? And they determined that Jacob Fatu is not the person of interest in this investigation. So they brought him back, and he can now go and handle his business. His business being Solo Sikoa and them MFTs. All right. So he goes out there. Jimmy Uso's also pops up out there, right? And I really love Solo in this instance. Like, Solo, Jacob Fatu is walking out to the ring. He's steaming. He's fucking pissed off, and he's walking out to the ring. Solo's like, is he coming out here? He's he's turning around. He's looking scared as fuck. He's like, is he about to come out here? He looks kind of mad. He looks a little upset. Like Solo Sikoa, he did a really good job in this segment. But like I said, it all falls apart here soon. So first of all, we have a very big brawl where basically what ends up happening is Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso, they 2v4 the entire MFT unit. Okay, Solo Sikoa gets his ass whooped. Tala Tonga, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, whatever the fuck. All right, I don't care. All of them got their ass whooped. Jeff Cobb got his ass whooped. They all got their asses whipped by two men, and we're supposed to take this faction seriously, and they can't handle two men. And there's four of them. It's not like it's three of them and there's two jobbers and one leader, right? Like maybe you could get away with that, but it's four of them, and they couldn't get the upper hand. Just couldn't do it. So that's what we had to deal with there. Then Adam Pearce comes out and says, all right, so you tried to frame Jacob Fatu, tried to frame him. right? He tried to frame him. Okay, so when did this happen? How do we know that he tried to frame him, right? But he said he tried to frame Jacob Fatu, tried to frame an innocent man. He almost went down for a crime that he didn't do. I'll tell you what, you're going to have a match at SummerSlam against Jacob Fatu, and you're going to put your title on the line in a steel cage match. Yay. I'm so excited to see this rematch in a steel cage. I can't wait. Can you hear the excitement in my voice? I'm sure you can. All right. I'm sure you can hear the sarcasm as well, but whatever. All right. Now, after this, the police come out, right? The police start coming out and they're walking down the ramp. Solo's like, yeah, come and get him. He's right over there, officers, right? The officers, they stop right next to Solo, right? Solo's pointing in the ring like, yeah, go get him. He's right there. He's right there. And then the police grip his ass up, drape his ass up, cuff him up, put him in the back, boys. You know what I mean? And that was that. That was basically the end of that segment. So now let's ask all the pertinent questions that need to be asked when we come to this. So what the fuck happened? So did Solo Sikoa just crash his car into somebody else, put it in and put somebody else's life in danger just so he could try to frame Jacob Fatu for a hit and run? And was Solo Sikoa so damn dumb? Solo Sikoa and all his MFTs. Remember, there's 4 of them. There's 4 people in this group, and none of them were like, hey, there's cameras here. We probably shouldn't do it here if we're gonna... You know, nobody. There's 4 of you. Nobody brought up cameras. Not a single person. Not a single person in that group was like, this idea is kind of retarded. Because what if we get caught? This is like, you know, like you could really go to jail over this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you can really real life get arrested over this shit for filing a false police report and wasting officers' time and shit like that. You can get fined and all kinds of shit out. Like you can do that. Right? Like, why are we doing this? Why can't we just whoop his ass or something like that? Like, why do we... something, right? Nobody said anything. And then the fact that there's supposedly footage that shows what happened, and we never get to see it. So Jacob Fatu gets released. Not even 45 minutes after he leaves to go to the police station. So that's unrealistic. How the fuck did he get out that damn fast? Why didn't we stretch this out just a little bit? We could have had this stretch out through the entire night, then lead into, Monday Night Raw. Maybe, or maybe Jacob Fatu could have came back later on in the night, like towards the main event, like instead of the dumbass 4-team tag team match I'm going to get to that too. Instead of that, maybe this should have been somewhere towards the end so it would make more sense. There would be more, at least a little bit more sense because there's more time for Jacob Fatu to actually get out of jail, and then that could be a part of the ending of the show. But no, not that. You're going to get it right here in the middle of the show. 30-45 minutes after he just left, even though that doesn't make sense. Nobody's going to talk about this. Nobody cares that Solo Sikoa got into a car crash. Nobody else cares about it except for Adam Pearce, and we move the fuck on, just like Triple H did probably after he threw this shit at the board and was like, yup, this is gold, guys. This is gold. They're going to love this, guys. No. All right. There's way too many questions to be asked, and none of them are going to be answered ever. Okay? Ever. And you can count on that. All right? After this, we got Jelly Roll and Randy Orton. They were on the Tonight Show. Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul, they showed up. This was retarded because the baby faces were up on the Tonight Show. I would have put the heels over on the Tonight Show so that way people could actually be more intrigued and want to watch Jelly Roll get his redemption at SummerSlam. But instead, they already saw Jelly Roll fucking choke slam Logan Paul through the table. So, like, who cares? Who wants to see anything else now? They've already fought. Jelly Roll already got the victory. So, whatever. We're not going to waste any more energy on that. We move the fuck on. Next up, we get a match between Stephanie Vaquer and Alba Fire. This match was fine, in my opinion. I liked it very much because it was pretty much just that. It was a squash match. Alba Fire got a couple of things in, right? Got a little outside dive, a couple super kicks, whatever, right? And then Stephanie Vaquer, she throws that booty on her, right? Hits her with the devil's kiss, hits her with the SVB, 1, 2, 3. This match was no more than like 3 to 5 minutes. I like that. All right. This made Stephanie Vaquer look good, and Piper Niven attacked Stephanie Vaquer after the match, and Stephanie Vaquer whooped Piper Niven's ass. So this made Stephanie Vaquer look very strong. I want to see more things like this. We move on. The Street Profits, they have an interview. And once again, they're dressed in all black. And I know that they've been dressing in all black recently, but I'm just getting tired of people who, you know, like maybe they could have switched it up a little bit, just because now it just looks redundant now, because we've seen Chelsea Green in all black after she lost her title. And then we've seen the New Day in all black after they lost their title. And now we're seeing the Street Profits in all black, right, after they lost their titles. And I'm giving it a little grace because they have been wearing all black lately, but I just had to throw it out there because it is something that I noticed. It is something that popped into my head. Like maybe they should have just switched it up so it just wasn't redundant. But whatever, right? They're basically explaining like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, they're going to be back with back at the title scene soon. You know, they used underhanded tactics to win the titles. The Wyatt Six did, so they're gonna get back at them soon. DIY comes in, says that they failed. You know what I mean? They choked at the last moment, whatever, right? Candice LeRae says some bullshit to B-Fab. B-Fab's almost beats her ass because B-Fab is there for some reason. Who knows? Just throw all the black people together, and anybody who likes to act black, just throw them together. Whatever, and we move the fuck on. One of the dumbest matches of all time. One of the goofiest matches of all time. We got Fraxum versus DIY versus Andrade and Ray Phoenix versus the Motor City Machine Guns. Okay? This match was a fatal four-way tag team match where only 2 people were allowed in the ring at a time. Now, let me ask a question to Triple H directly. All right, Mr. Paul Levesque, I have a question. If you're going to have a match with 4 tag teams in it because you're too lazy to book an actual legitimate story that'll get people intrigued, you just have to throw out a fucking bullshit ass match like this, right? Instead of doing this, why aren't we getting a story, right? But whatever, right? I have to ask Triple H this directly. If you're going to have this kind of match where there's 4 tag teams there and only 2 people are allowed in the ring, why in the first 15 seconds of the match would you have the rules be broken? Why were the rules never enforced by the referee throughout the entire 20 minutes of this match? Because this match was damn near 25 minutes or some shit like that. Throughout the entirety of it, everybody was in the ring pretty much. Everybody's all over the place. It was very rare during this match to actually only see 2 people in the ring. If that happened, if only 2 people in the ring, you could count to 5 on one hand. You know, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. And by the 5th Mississippi, you're going to have somebody else in the ring either breaking some shit up, smacking somebody from behind, doing something. This match was ridiculously chaotic for absolutely no reason. If you're going to have this kind of match where this was going to be the booking of it, where this was going to be the choreography of the match, where people were going to be all over the place anyways, why not just have a tornado tag? It would have made way more sense, right? And shit, make it fall count anywhere. Why? Why would you do all this on a Friday Night Smackdown, you may ask? Because you're building up for SummerSlam, and SummerSlam is only 2 weeks away, right? This is one of the shortest builds to SummerSlam that we ever had of all time. I think this is the shortest build to SummerSlam that we've ever had of all time. So if that's the case, that means you have to go all out, Paul Levesque. So why didn't you? Why did you make this match have these rules that nobody followed and nothing was enforced at all? Garbage. Fucking Garbage. This match was garbage. I hated every fucking second of it. I could only stomach about 5 minutes of this fucking nonsense before I just had to take my little smoke break, you know what I'm saying? I just check back periodically and see when the match is about to end. And the match finally ended with Rey Fenix and Andrade. They won. And I'm like, what the fuck is this going to look like? Because this is a number one contenders match, right? So what the fuck is this going to look like? A feud between Wyatt 6 and Andrade and Rey Fenix, neither of whom can really put together a coherent English sentence, and really neither can anybody in the Wyatt 6. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of these guys are putting together coherent sentences. The Wyatt 6 hardly ever show up for work. So it's like, come on, man. Is this really the best that we could have gotten for SummerSlam? Why aren't the Street Profits getting an automatic rematch after the Wyatt 6 used underhanded tactics to win? As they said, why aren't they just getting an automatic rematch? That just doesn't matter anymore. Like, it just, all right, whatever. All right, it only matters when it's Gunther, or when it's fucking Cody Rhodes, when it's that's the only time that it matters, right? When it's some bullshit, you know, like Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria and fucking Chelsea Green and Michin and all that. That's the only time that those automatic rematches matter, right? This shit was hard to watch. This shit was hard to watch, and for so many fucking reasons. And then we get into one of the worst, I think this was the worst main event segment that John Cena has done since he's come back. Probably his worst main event segment of all time. All right. Cody Rhodes comes out there, bores the crowd half to death, talking all this about love and respect and all this extra shit, about how John Cena is one of the most beloved WWE superstars of all time, and how it's a daunting task that he's going to have to take on when he has to try to take away the WWE Championship from John Cena, and that he has all this respect for John Cena and who he used to be, and you know, the love and appreciation that he used to have for the man that John used to be, and now he doesn't have it, and all this extra shit, right? Just boring the crowd to death with the same old shit. My daddy was a Texan. My brother was a Texan. Who gives a fuck about any of this, all right? But Cody Rhodes signed the contract right when he came out. They call out John Cena next, okay? And mind you, we are already at the last 6-7 minutes of the show. That means John Cena had been there all night backstage, and this is the only time that we've seen John Cena all night. For 6 minutes of the show, we wasted a John Cena appearance for 6 minutes. In a promo where John Cena basically came out and said, hey, look, man, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to do this. I'm pulling out. You guys know I'm filming big movies right now. I can't do it. I'm not showing up for SummerSlam. All right. We just got to move on. All right. This is what's best for business right now. He, gets out of the ring. He starts to walk away, right? Cody Rhodes, he's irate. He pulls off his jacket because he's wearing a 3-piece suit. You already know he's wearing a 3-piece suit with the high waters, okay? He pulls off his jacket. He runs down the ramp, attacks John Cena from behind, no diddy, right? And then they start brawling, right? Cody Rhodes brawls with him, and then John Cena tosses Cody Rhodes into the steel steps. Cody Rhodes gets the upper hand again, tosses John Cena into the ring, right? Somehow, some way, after a little scuffle, Cody Rhodes gets the championship, and he lays out John Cena. Because, of course, just like I talked about in my last video, this is John Cena's reign right here. Has he had a couple of decent moments in this return? Sure, absolutely, he's had a couple of decent moments, a couple of memorable moments. But this right here is the majority of what his run has been. Him getting laid out by left and right, whoever the fuck his opponent is at that particular time. He just gets laid out all the time. We just have to see John Cena laid the fuck out. And not only do we have to see John Cena laid out, all right, because Cody Rhodes puts him on the table, right? And this was so fucking sloppy. John Cena just drapes himself over the table because Cody Rhodes forgot to put him up there. And then Cody Rhodes ends up putting him on the table, hits him with one of the worst splashes from the top rope of all time that I've ever seen. And he has the contract in his hand while he's doing it. It's just fucking retarded, all right? And then this is where it gets even worse. All right. He grabs after he after he splashes John Cena through the table, okay, because there was like this little cloth on the table. You know how they do it during the contract signing. They have the black cloth on the table. John Cena, he got caught underneath the cloth when he got splashed, so he had to like grab his head out of the he had to grab his head out of the cloth so he could actually breathe, and fucking rolled over off to the side. And then Cody Rhodes grabs his hand, grabs the pen, grabs the folder, opens it up, and forces John Cena to sign the contract. John Cena is unconscious at this moment, and Cody Rhodes is on live TV, prime television, right? With all the cameras recording. We are seeing footage of this. This is a legitimate crime. This is a crime that this is a crime of forgery that he is committing right now in front of everybody, and nobody's saying anything about it. Oh, this is just awesome, right? This is just amazing, right? Cody Rhodes forcing John Cena to sign. Like, this is not going to hold up in court. John Cena, he's a fucking multi-millionaire, right? He can go up to his lawyers and be like, yo, I did not sign this shit. You can see that right here on primetime television. Cody Rhodes made me sign this shit while I was unconscious. This was not my doing. So I don't have to go into this match. As a matter of fact, I'm going to sue Cody. Right? First of all, I'm going to charge him criminally. I'm going to file a police report to get him charged criminally, and then I'm going to sue him for everything that he has, right? For emotional distress and all this extra shit, because he decided to knock me unconscious and try to force me into a street fight with him. Like, like, what the fuck? That's the only logical place that this could go, right? This shit happened on live TV in front of everybody. Cody Rhodes committing a crime. But this is great booking. This is Triple H cooking. 2 weeks until SummerSlam, and this is Triple H's booking right now, man. All right. After Cody Rhodes makes him sign it, he's like, this is gonna be a street fight. Nobody cares, man. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody wants to see this match. I am good. I'm good. I'm so good. I really don't need this match, man. We could have had anybody else. You know how fucking good, and I know, somebody had commented on one of my videos. I forgot who it was. I don't know if I ended up replying, but this is my reply to the comment that was made, because they asked, "Hey, man, you're always glazing LA Knight. Why don't you ever have anything critical to say about LA Knight?" Because this is a LA Knight Glazers channel. All right. We're not saying anything negative about LA Knight until he gets his fair fucking shot. All right, until LA Knight gets his fair fucking shot, this is the LA Knight Glazers channel. All right, so if you don't like it, continue to watch the videos and continue to like, and please subscribe. All right, just as if you did like it, because you're watching it anyways. All right, but whatever. You know how fucking good a promo segment, a feud would be between LA Knight and John Cena with some legitimate creativity behind it? LA Knight and John Cena would be awesome. Hell, LA Knight versus Roman Reigns the other year was awesome. It was awesome for what it was. We only got a little bit, right? We got to see LA Knight, upstage Roman a couple of times, and it was great to see. It was great to see. LA Knight fit in like a fucking glove in the main event scene. Like a glove. But then Triple H just buries him, and now he's just been in the mid-card all this damn time. And now we have to sit here and see Cody Rhodes for the third year in a row going for the WWE Championship. The only motherfucker consistently being at the neck of the WWE Championship. I'm over it, man. I'm over it. This show was awful. The only thing good about this show was the fact that the pacing was a little different than it normally is, but all of it was just pointless matches that you absolutely did not give a fuck about, did not need to see at all, a couple of bullshit backstage segments, some video promos, and the worst main event segment of all time, most likely. All right, and then the fucking whole little storyline thread through the first hour of the show with Solo Sikoa, MFTs, and Jacob Fatu. No logic, no sense being made at all. We're just supposed to accept it, shut the fuck up, and just move on to next week like nothing happened. This is definitely, in my opinion, the worst Smackdown of all time for the reasons I've stated. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you want to hear some more. I give this show a 1 out of 10. And this has been your boy, Nate the Great, back with another video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.